friend. Come on over and sit for a while. Fire's doing pretty good tonight. You know, there's a peculiar little thing that our minds can do when somebody doesn't answer us the way we expected. Well, here's an example of what I mean. Maybe you sent somebody a text. Usually they write back a sentence or two, but this time you got okay. That's it. Okay. And then there's a period after it. Well, give us about 3 hours with that period and we could build quite a story around it, can't we? Oh, they're upset with me. I must have said something. Maybe it was what I said yesterday. I knew I shouldn't have said that. Or maybe somebody seemed a little quiet today. They didn't laugh like they normally do. They walked past without saying much. They didn't call when they usually call. And now, well, it's nighttime. The house is quiet. And you're lying there trying to figure out what it all means. Now, I've done that. I've done it probably more times than I care to admit. And the funny thing is, we usually don't fill in the missing pieces with the best explanation. No, we fill them in with the worst one. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they've got something on their mind that has absolutely nothing to do with us. Maybe they're dealing with something that they haven't told anybody about. And maybe that text really did just mean okay. But somehow, those possibilities, they don't seem nearly as interesting to a worried mind at midnight, do they? There's a little phrase that Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians that I've come back to more than once. He was talking about love. And among those things, he said that love believes all things and hopes all things. Now, I don't think Paul was talking about texts or telling us to be foolish. Love doesn't mean pretending something isn't wrong when it is. And it doesn't mean avoiding a conversation that needs to happen. But maybe it means when we don't know the whole story, we don't always have to write the worst ending. There's a lot we don't know about what's happening inside another person. That fellow who barely spoke to you today may have been carrying something super heavy. That friend who hasn't called might, well, simply be worn out. That person who sent the short reply may have been standing in a grocery line. Maybe they had 3% battery and somebody's toddler screaming 6 feet away. You just don't know. And that's the problem. Sometimes we take what we don't know and we turn it into something we're absolutely certain about. Then we worry about it. We lose sleep over it. Maybe even get a little angry about it. And the whole argument happened without that other person even being there. That's quite a trick when you think about it. So maybe tonight, if you've been replaying somebody's words or their silence or wondering whether somebody's upset with you, you don't have to settle the case before morning. If there's something that needs asking, well, you can ask tomorrow. Why not ask, hey, are we okay? 4 little words can save an awful lot of detective work. And if you've done something you know was wrong, well, that's different. Own it. Apologize. Make it right if you can. But if all you've got is a feeling, a short text, a look, or a period after the word okay, maybe don't build a courthouse around it. Give that person a little grace. And while you're at it, give yourself some too. You don't know everything that they're thinking. You weren't meant to. God knows their heart, and He knows yours too. And tonight, that can be enough. Now here's a prayer for us. Father, sometimes we're awfully quick to fill in the things that we don't know. We assume, we worry, and sometimes we convince ourselves that our fears must be true. Help us give one another grace. Help us ask instead of assume. listen instead of imagine, and hope instead of always expecting the worst. And when something really does need to be made right, give us the courage and the kindness to do it. Until then, help us leave what we don't know with you. Amen. Well, it's nice to be back by the fire tonight, and I suspect that little period at the end of that text is still going to be there tomorrow morning. So you don't have to stare at the ceiling arguing with it all night tonight, do you? Some things can wait until daylight. So take care of yourself tonight, my friend, and maybe don't let your imagination answer questions that nobody's actually asked. Get some rest, my friend. We'll sit by the fire again soon. Until next time and my next stop, may peace be with you.